Hello, everyone. This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen. Hi. Everybody go ahead and click the like. We're going to get started. How's everybody doing today? This one, I know I'm coming to y'all a little bit early. I have a lot to do today. So I needed to do this or you wouldn't get any content today. And I didn't want to not give you content or break the energy that we've been building. But I want to talk about this today. Hey, I am Alpha. I think it was Ruminant or Ebo Sosa. I think it was Ebo Sosa. That wanted me to flesh out why marriages aren't partnerships, why those things are different. And oh, you got the A game, Malika? That's good. That's awesome. Hey, C. Douglas, how are you today? Okay, so we're just going to look up something, some definitions. We're going to look up some definitions and then we're going to go into it. This won't be a super long live stream because I do gotta get ready because I got some important things to do today. And not going to be able to be tardy for them. So I'm really going to have to keep a strict account of what I'm doing today. So I want to show you guys this. I know it's a little bit in the way, but it doesn't matter. So we're going to look at the Merriam-Webster definition of a partnership. Okay. Partnership. The state of being a partner. Participation. Number 2, a legal relation existing between two or more persons contractually associated as joint principals in a business. Thank you, Force Windu. So ready for this cooking? Let's go. Okay, we got it. A legal relation existing between two or more persons contractually associated as joint principals in a business. And 2B is the persons joined together in a partnership. The third definition is a relationship resembling a legal partnership and usually involving close cooperation between parties having specified and joint rights and responsibilities. Thank you, C. Douglas said this should be an interesting dialogue. Partnership is business. Partnership is business. See, that's the thing. A partnership is a business. Now, oftentimes we will use the analogy of business to describe certain aspects of a marriage. And sometimes we'll even call marriages a business. And in a certain sense, it is a business. However, it is not the same kind of business as we think of when we think about opening LLCs or corporations or in the financial world. Um, we think of them differently. And to be honest with you, a lot of the women who say, oh, well, we need it to be a partnership, they're also thinking of it in this particular way. Specifically, the third definition, a relationship resembling a legal partnership. That means getting married by the state so that it is legally recognized by the state, just like every other business. If you opened a sole proprietorship or you had an LLC, that has to be registered with the state that you live in, and usually involving close cooperation between parties having specified and joint rights and responsibilities. And see, this is where things fall apart, the joint rights and responsibilities. But we're going to look up a marriage, the definition of a marriage. Okay, a definition of a marriage. Excuse me. Okay, the first definition, the state of being united as spouses in a consensual and contractual relationship recognized by law. 1B is the mutual relation of married persons or wedlock, and C, the institution of marriage. So the institution whereby individuals are joined in a marriage. The second definition is an act of marrying or the rite by which the married status is affected, i.e., the ceremony and the attending festivities or formalities. And 3, an intimate or close union. Now, what you'll find in the difference between a marriage, the definition of marriage, and a definition of partnership, is that within a marriage, finances are not mentioned. Nowhere under these 3 definitions of marriage is finance mentioned. Nowhere under these 3 definitions of marriage are split rights and responsibilities mentioned. The only thing that loosely relates a partnership to marriage is the first definition, is that it's relationship recognized by law. Other than that, not even the law or the state is mentioned in the definitions of marriage. Okay? But if we go back to partnership, legal, okay? Starting with the only definition that legality is not mentioned is the first one, is the state of being a partner or just participating together. Now, in that sense, marriage is a partnership because the two people are participating in the relationship. And then that's where the similarities begin and end. But when you start looking at definitions 2 and 3, 2A is a legal relation existing between 2 or more persons. This is very formal. A legal relation existing between 2 or more persons contractually associated as joint principals in a business. It has nothing to do with the relationship, nothing to do with intimacy, nothing to do with emotional output. It's a business. 2B, hey, Father's Time, says a person's joined together in a partnership, which is related to 2A, which is a legal relation existing between 2 or more persons. 3, a relationship resembling a legal partnership. This is what a lot of women are referring to When they say marriage is I just want, we should be partners. This is what they want. A relationship resembling a legal partnership and usually involving close cooperation. See, they lose it right there because they don't cooperate. Between parties having specified, they lose it there too because women's roles are not to be specified. And joint rights and responsibilities, and they lose it right at responsibilities. Okay. So women of today want a partnership with men that may involve sexual intercourse, but they drop the ball at 3 key points. Cooperation, because the men that they are in partnership with can't get that. Specified. Women do not want their roles to be specified to them. And they lose it again at responsibility because they don't take responsibility for anything going on in that marriage or in that partnership unless it has been beneficial to her. Okay, so this is what they want. They don't want this. An act of marrying or the right by which the marriage status is affected, or an intimate or close union. See, they don't like marriage because marriage is supposed to be a union. When you unite things, you make them what? They become as what? When you unite things. They become one. When you unite things, they become one. See, if you notice in the definition of partnership, the word union is not mentioned. Because, see, at any time a partnership can be disbanded, if for nothing more than the fact that the end of the term of the contract has been reached and neither party wished to renew it, so therefore the partnership has ended. This is why they engage no fault divorce at the rate that they do, because for them the partnership has ended and they wish not to continue in this partnership. See, partnerships are not marriages. Partnerships are business. But that's what they want. And this is closely tied into the whole 50-50. See, the concept of going 50-50 is a gynocratic concept. Do we understand that? Men didn't come up with that, women did. Men didn't come up with 50-50, women did. So for all the guys that clamor for 50-50, that's gynocratic. It's gynocratic. Okay. So the guys that are like, oh yeah, I want my woman to go 50-50. So you want a partnership. See, in partnership, cooperation is expected, but not submission. We have to understand the nuances. Partnership, in partnership, if we're splitting things down the middle, cooperation can be expected because we need to be moving in the same direction if the partnership is not to fail. But submission is not part of that. If I go into business with someone and we're 50-50 partners in that business, why are any of us submitting to anything that the other person is? There's no submission. We come to the table as equals, and we talk about what the best way in which to move forward for this business. That doesn't have anything to do with submission. I'm bringing just what you're bringing here. I have an area of expertise that drives this business, and you have an area of expertise that drives the business. Now, they may be two different areas, but they work well together, which is why we're in business. But I'm not going to submit to my business partner, and my business partner should not be submitting to me. No submission. Cooperation, yes, but no submission. Because, see, submission changes the power dynamic. And if we're entering into something 50-50 in a partnership, there is no power dynamic. Thank you, Father's Time. So thank you for this much needed teaching. You're very welcome. And it does need to be said. It needs to be not only said, but needs to be understood. On one thought, thank you for the Cash App. I think you're a new person, so thank you. See, in a business partnership, there's no type of submission. See, the guys that want 50-50, this is why you can't get submission. Because you didn't enter into any deal that procured any submission for you. If you want your woman to match you financially, that's a business. And do you ask any of your other business partners, customers, or clients to submit to you? No. So when you ask for you as a man, well, my woman gonna have to pay 50% of whatever bills we have, and she's going to have to contribute 50% of her earnings to this household in the exact same way that I put my earnings into the household, then you're asking for a partnership. Don't you dare say the S word. Because she's not going to give that to you anyway. This is why it's a gynocratic invention, so that she could skirt the requirement of a marriage and turn it into a business. She's skirting it, and you're letting her. You think that you're putting down some type of gauntlet by telling her, well, to be with me, you're going to have to put your money up. She's looking for that. Because money is power in a lot of instances. If me and someone go into business together and we invest the same amount of money into starting that business, then we're equal partners through and through. If it took $100,000 to start this business, and each of us came with 50 and our expertise to make the business go, we're equal. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah aisada. Nope, Paul Graves. Marriages are not partnerships. Neither of them are. They're not the same on really on any level. And the reason why not is because the only definition of partnership that applies in marriage is that the two people are participating together. And then that's it. The rest of the definitions of partnerships don't apply to marriage. Thank you, Ruminant, for the PayPal. To Triv, thank you for the Cash App. And hey, Miss Bunny Bunny, thank you as well, sweetie. So you really think you're doing something by letting or call herself making her invest financially just as much as you do. You're not doing anything but sharing power. That's what you're doing. You go into partnership so you can share power, so that you can have equal power, so that you can have equal say, so that your value is equal, so that your word is equal. The part where it fails is that they like equal power, but they don't like equal accountability and responsibility for any problems that it may arise within the partnership. And that's where a lot of the breakdown comes from, because they enter into what they tell you is a partnership, but it's not 50-50, because you're supposed to carry 100% of the responsibility and the accountability of anything that goes wrong in this relationship. It's not 50-50. Cause she gonna blame you if it don't go right. Even if she's the one that sunk the ship. Duh. So where's the 50%? Is she gonna take 50% of the blame when things go wrong? Does she ever? No. When she goes and files for her no fault divorce and irreconcilable differences and all of this type of BS, when she goes down to the courthouse to sign those papers, she's not telling anybody that, I messed up too. She's not saying that. She's going to be the victim. And like I just got through explaining, I understand what you're trying to say, Paul, but just like I got through explaining, in partnership, there is no such thing as submission. In marriage, there is. Because, see, in a marriage, both people are not expected to come to the table with the same thing. It's a union. They're joining something, but it's not the same thing. A man that is a husband and it wants a wife, he wants her to bring something, yes, but he's not expecting her to bring what he has. He already has that. In a marriage, he's expecting her to bring what he does not have, not what he has. In a marriage, unlike a partnership, the man expects the woman to bring to him what he does not have and what he cannot acquire. And that's femininity, submission, possible children, and a caretaker for his emotional world. That is what he cannot acquire on his own. He's not looking for her to bring what he already has possession of. He's not looking a man. Why would a man look for a woman to bring money? He has that. And he can go and get that using either the work of his hands or the work of his mind. He doesn't need her to bring him cars. He has that. Doesn't need her to bring him a place to stay. He has that. He doesn't need her to bring him, paperwork and this. He has that. That he can acquire alone. Does not need her to bring any of that to him. Now, if she does, it can be incorporated, I suppose, in what's going on. But that is not what he requires. He requires her to bring him what he does not have. This is why when you get down to the nitty gritty of things, men will say, I don't care about her degrees or her money because that's what I've got. And she's not going to utilize that to take care of me anyway. So I don't care if she has it. I don't care if she ever gets it. But in a partnership, you do care. You care a great deal about what kind of degree you got and what kind of know-how you got and what kind of money you got and what kind of, status you're working at. We need to know that because, I need that as a part of this partnership and how we're going to move forward. And he is not looking to wield all power in this particular situation. He's willing to share power in order to move forward. In a marriage, the husband is not looking to share power, especially when we're talking about a traditional marriage. He is not looking to share any power. He understands the power dynamic. He's not trying to give her any, especially not equal to what he's got. He's already got the power. Why would he give it away? Who does that? Where do they do that at? He will give her rights, but he won't give her power. See, we have to start understanding these terms that we're using. Words have meanings, and they should be used deliberately. He will ensure her rights, but he will not give her power. Because women do not inherently have power. Power has to be given to them. So he's not going to do that. Not if he's smart. Give her power. Power to do what? He'll see to her rights, though. That he will do. He'll see to it that her rights are fulfilled. That he will do. Make sure that she's okay. Physically, mentally, emotionally, she's okay. And she'll be okay underneath the umbrella of his authority and power. That's a marriage. And all that she has, if she has any worldly possessions, belong to him. That also fits under the umbrella of his authority and power. When a king used to marry a queen, he acquired her and her territory and her wealth and her. Y'all got to understand. Okay. See, When we look at monarchies and things of that nature and how those things work, those were partnerships. Now, some of them could turn into marriages, but they were partnerships. See, that was sometimes how a king acquired new land. That's how allies were formed. That's how things were done. You could go to war and conquer and take it, and sometimes you were diplomatic, and sometimes you just married the king's daughter. She may not have wanted you and you might not have wanted her, but you did want the land they were sitting on. Or you wanted friendly relations. It's a business. She came with something he could benefit from, which was that territory over there. Part of the business deal was she could birth some children in his legacy and stuff like that. He didn't have to love her, and she didn't have to love him. It was not necessary. That was a partnership. The commoners entered into marriages. Marriages imply emotional connection and tie. Partnerships do not. Okay? Marriages are not partnerships. Two totally different things. They are different. Period. And that is why a lot of the women of today say, I want a partnership. She means that. Because the main reason why she's doing it is because she's skirting around the power dynamic issue. Because she knows if she comes to you without power, you can demand submission. That is what she's precisely not going to give you. She's specifically not going to give you that. And for all of the guys that are deaf on, yeah, it's got to be 50-50, you might need to rethink that. Because you're entering into a deal where you don't have power. That's not a position of power for you. That's not a position of authority for you. In many cases, that's a position of subservience for you. You're in the lower position because it's not 50-50. Even if she brings 50% of the finances to the household, she doesn't share 50% of the rights nor the responsibility. You bear 100% of the brunt of that with only 50% share. Do you understand how that's a bad deal? And I'm not even particularly business savvy, and I know that's a bad deal. You're not going to make me pay half, and then I got to take the whole brunt load of everything. And I got to do all the protecting. I got to do all of the, responsibilities. You're not necessarily accountable for anything. I got to fulfill all these different stipulations and standards and requirements and criteria and roles. And I can't even tell you what your role is. You get to come in here with 50% of the finances and you get to dictate to me what your role is. And usually 9 times out of 10, what you dictated to me, your role is whatever the heck you say your role is. And if you say your role is nothing, then that's what your role is going to be. And then you come in here and try to dictate what my role is going to be. Well, you're supposed to be providing, you're supposed to be protecting, you're supposed to be doing this, and you're supposed to be doing that. But it's 50-50, no bueno. No bueno. People need to start understanding the words that they're using and the concepts. These are important concepts. You cannot afford to overlook these concepts or apply your own definition to them. That is not how words work. That is not how words have ever worked. You don't get to apply your own definition to these words just because you feel that they should mean a certain thing. That doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't work in the favor of the men. And lionesses do not like partnerships. We like marriages. Because I would never come to the marriage table talking about a partnership. Because I'm not going to do half of nothing he doing. I'm not even going to raise my hand to volunteer for that. Mainly because I can't do what he's doing. And second of all, I don't want him stepping on my toes to try to come over here and do feminine stuff that I'm supposed to be doing. You stay over in the masculine area and I stay over in the feminine area. We'll make it work. I guarantee it. Lionesses and feminine women do not want partnerships. We want marriages. We are perfectly fine sitting under the umbrella of your authority and power. Because if we thought that you would abuse it, we wouldn't come over here trying to be your wife. When I'm looking for a husband, I'm trying to be his wife. I'm trying to show him I can be your wife. I don't want to be your partner. I don't want to be in business with you. I'm not trying to match you, dollar for dollar in your bank account. I'm not even built like that. What you have is fine. I'm willing to come under your umbrella and do what it takes to remain under your umbrella, under your authority in your marriage. I'm willing to unite with you. And what you have, I will take on as my own. The ideas you have, the mission you have, the direction that you are going, I agree to go in that direction. I agree to take your mission with you. Now, what work you have for me in order to complete this mission, I also agree to do. But I want to be taken care of in this situation. Because being taken care of affords me the opportunity to fully invest in the feminine things that you want me to have and bring to you and give to you on a consistent basis. But if I'm busy trying to do what you do, then I can't bring you that. I have to bring you my womanhood, not more masculinity and a bad version of it at that. Bring you some pseudo masculinity, and that comes with an attitude, and it comes with a lot of foolishness, a lot of stuff you got to study, put little fires out with me, because I think I'm just as big and bad as you are, and I do it's a partnership, and I do it too, and I put 50%. Yeah, right, right, right. Stop giving away 50% of your power. Lionesses do not demand this. Thank you, D. Remedy. I appreciate you too. Thank you for the cash app. Lionesses, we don't operate in that dynamic. Wears us thin. We're not built for it. We don't like it. Because we know it puts us in a masculine space. And we don't even want to be in that space. We got married so that we don't have to be in that space. Lionesses don't operate well outside of a pride. We do our best work in a pride. All right. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and hit the like button, share and subscribe to the channel. Today's episode of the Crimson Cure has been brought to you by our sponsor, A-Game. So go ahead and do yourselves a favor. Look in the description box below. Hit the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. Get yourself a 10% discount using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.